Hey there, Joe here, Profit First Reseller. Thought we'd do something a little bit different today and do a tier list ranking of some of my favorite content creators, but just in general, some of the women of eBay, YouTube reselling. You know, these people share their lives and their journeys as business owners online. And so in the video game world, we often like to rank things from S down to E as far as tier lists go. So I thought it'd be fun to do a little bit of a tier list here. So first up, we got Ashley, Hustle at Home Mom. First of all, 209,000 subscribers, absolutely amazing. Pulling up her channel here. So I often, when I was explaining who Ashley is to my wife, you know, I often talk about all the YouTubers that I'm following. You know, I'm often dumping all my favorite things on my wife. It's just like one of the things that I do. Like, oh, my favorite YouTube creator this. And I often explain Hustle at Home Mom, Ashley, as the Hermione Granger of reselling. She is so on top of her stuff. You can tell just such a good person, but also so self-critical and humble, and just reminds me of Hermione. I'm not sure what else to say. And I love following her journey. Also a mom of a bunch of boys. One of my favorite things about watching Ashley's content at Hustle at Home Mom is the way that the terminology that my wife and I often use. Ashley talks sparkle about her husband all the time. What I mean by that is, often you've heard about talking the other S word about your partner, that 4-letter word, right? Well, my wife and I have often noticed it's a really green flag in other people when they talk a lot of sparkle about their partner, their significant other. They lift them up when they're talking about them. It's not the eye-rolling, ball and chain, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, my partner is amazing for all these reasons. This is why I'm with them, obviously. And Ashley is just so good about highlighting all the amazing things that TJ brings to the dynamic. And she's also so humble to the point that I've noticed something in Ashley that I often do in myself, where she will big up TJ, her husband, so much and say he's so organized, that often she'll say, and I'm so disorganized. And from the outside, I'm like, you seem like the most organized person ever. But I think what often happens, and I do the same thing, is when you're around your partner so much, often we just compare ourselves to our partner. Even when we married our partner and they have these extraordinary qualities, and maybe you're 5% less organized than they are, that doesn't mean you're a disorganized person. But so often when you are self-critical, and again, this is just something I relate to, you are so often wanting to kind of, compare yourself to your partner. So I just want to highlight that. So humble, so cool. I think my screen turned off there. I got to wiggle my mouse some more. But Ashley, Hustle at Home Mom, worth checking out. We're going to drag Ashley over to the S tier here. And let's continue on to Haley Tornado. Got to address Haley Tornado, of course, the other half of Harry Tornado with her husband Josh. But I gotta say, Haley Tornado, I've always related to. There's so many comments about how everyone is so happy that she's now taking more of the time in front of the camera. Everybody loves when Haley's behind the camera. And obviously, all respect to Josh. Josh is a legit genius when it comes to YouTube content creation. The man makes the most compelling YouTube videos. And what is such a fun dynamic is that then Haley comes in and brings the business aspect as well. And I just find them such an awesome pair. So of course, who hasn't heard of Harry Tornado? Obviously, we've all heard of 406,000 subscribers. Absolutely incredible. Check them out. Harry Tornado. But Haley, as the other half of Harry Tornado, is just so amazing. Every time that she shares information, she's always, you can tell she's always looking to be helpful. And something I relate to a little bit, like Thomas the Tank Engine kids, of like, I just want to be useful, right? Like, I get that, and I see that, and I see you, Haley, and I think you're incredible. So thank you for doing what you do. So Haley and Harry Tornado gotta be S tier for sure here. So all right, moving down the list here, we got Cassandra Solden, Midnight Modern. So Cassandra is bursting on the scene, eBay content creators. She has just, you can tell in the picture, that's a recent picture. She almost always has this small baby strapped to her back or her front or somewhere. And in the in-betweens, during nap times, often she's here picking orders and making videos and producing compelling content. She's honest, she's real, she's hilarious. Her videos are just so hilarious. She's doing Whatnot as well. I think that she's compelling. She's compelling to watch. She's so funny. One of her videos went completely viral. The 7 phases of being a reseller here. Yeah, 18,000 views in a month. And it's just, again, it's a fairly new channel. Like she's crushing it. So check her out, Cassandra Solden at Midnight Modern, and doing it with the kids, doing it with honesty, and she speak about doing it. So her most recent video, she's talking about how her husband was just laid off, and her attitude is so incredible. She's like, okay, well, I guess the universe has said now we're going full time on eBay, and whatnot, and YouTube, but has just decided to embrace this step so quickly and so fully, and I gotta respect. And she's gonna be sharing it all on YouTube as well. So I think definitely check out Midnight Modern. Nothing bad to say. S tier, Cassandra Solden. Good job. Next up, we got Carrie at Home. So yes, I learned about Carrie at Home. Let's see what's happening here. Oops. First, I think from the Tech and Sports Facebook group. And Carrie at Home is just so incredible. Also a mother, also doing the dang thing. She's doing these challenges where she's putting extra restrictions on herself, selling, stores that are only one category as a way, and which I think is just especially got to be compelling for new eBay resellers and new people that are interested in reselling. And look at this. Look at these stats, right? 61 videos, and she's already got 26.9 thousand subscribers. All of her videos are so well thought out, even in the midst of everything that I can tell that's going on in her life. Man, they homeschool their kids, which I love. My wife and I homeschool our kids too, and a lot of things that I can relate to watching her story. But something that I really love is all the numbers that she puts out there. Her videos are just full of actual statistics: sell-through rate, average sales price, her expenses, how much time, how long it took, where she got it, everything. If you actually want to get in the nitty-gritty of the actual business stuff, Carrie at Home is worth checking out. Absolutely. No criticism at all here. Carrie at Home, S tier. Next up, we got Allie Roots of Rally Roots fame. Of course, an OG. Again, 254,000 subscribers. You already know who they are. Allie is just so incredible. Something that I love about Allie, recently she was talking about how her style of decorating and just her style in general could be described as dopamine decor, which I love so much, obviously. I have things dangling around me everywhere that bring me dopamine. And I totally relate. I'm the same way. I have no style beyond things that bring me joy. Sometimes it's nostalgia, sometimes it's techie and silly, and sometimes it's video game and nerdy stuff. And I love it all. I can tell Allie's a gamer, and anyway. Allie Roots, the other half of Rally Roots, they've been doing this business, content creation and eBay forever. They are absolute OGs of YouTube content creation. And Callie too. Gotta give a shout out to Callie. The best. They're like a trio. Callie it's just so chill, so cool. Like, I feel like I would feel cooler if Callie was like in the room, just like, yeah, she's with me. Anyway, Callie, Allie, Ryan, all of y'all, amazing. But today I'm highlighting Allie Roots, S tier. Okay, getting crowd at the top up here. All right, next up, Mel, back from burnout. Mel's so incredible. So Mel, I have listened to so much of her content, not only on her YouTube channel, but as well as on the Tech and Sports group. She's one of the leaders. So she actually leads a couple of calls every week, helping other people, including the YouTube and social media call within the eBay sellers group. It's so niche and so perfect for me. So I love listening to all of her content. In fact, I found out some amazing stuff for my YouTube channel. That's where I found out about Opus Clip, or Opus Studio or something that I use to kind of automatically edit all the shorts on my YouTube channel. I found out about it from a call hosted by Mel, back from burnout. She's making content, again, this is not even on her channel. I watch so much of her content, but this is additional content that she's creating on the Tech and Sports group behind the Patreon paywall. So you do have to pay for that content, but so worth it. Really, it's just been absolutely invaluable. And just watching Mel share her journey, she's just so incredible, sharing ups and downs, and still at the same time, she's sharing her vulnerabilities, and I'm sure can get some criticism about anybody sharing both the ups and the downs, anybody that has the courage to share that stuff online, as Mel does. But she's also at the same time continuing to be one of Australia's top booksellers on eBay. She's an incredible business person, in addition to obviously at 50.3 thousand subscribers. That's a job as well. Like, she's making a great income, I hope, on YouTube as well. She deserves to. And she's just amazing. So it's super relatable. She does, again, day in the lives. You can see her pack, and she really focuses on books, which is just so relatable. I think so many of us can find books around us to sell. I love the idea of books if I was ever to stop being able to sell electronics for whatever reason, because they have the labels built in. I've always thought that's so nice. Like, they would be so much easier to categorize because the names of them are already on multiple sides. So it seems like it would be easier. I don't know. But I love watching her process. You can tell, real business person. She knows what's up. She's just so inspiring and always open to change and to be learning and to be leveling up as well, obviously, because she's still got that beginner mindset that I really love and respect, of always being willing to learn. But she's done so much and accomplished so much. It's just that she's still willing to share the process and the ups and the downs. So I think that's why people love her, obviously. 50,000 subscribers. Check her out. Mel back from burnout. S tier. Sorry, Haley, we got to scoot you up here. Mel back from burnout. Need some space. All right, next up, Bob Buys. There's something so cozy about Bob's channel. I hope they go by Bob, B0B Buys, if you're trying to search it, but I'm also going to link it down in the description below. B0B Buys. Just so cozy. This latest video...
thinking that they would sell.
As you can tell, they're like in front of this plant. It's just so relatable. I don't want the volume to come through. I don't want to get like copyright strike or something. I'm not exactly sure how that works. I'm new to this YouTube thing, but so relatable. Reminds me of a lot of my friends back in Portland, Oregon, who I would just love to hang out and just chat with. So real. I think it is. It's just the honesty, the tattoos probably I can relate to. And also just so honest about, her own particular flavor of being neuroatypical and struggles with mood. And I just also a lot of stuff that I can relate to, and also especially respect the honesty. And so really amazing, great seller, great reseller, getting really into books as well. Similar to Mel, loves selling books, but I think also sells some other stuff. So anyway, Bob Buys, but it's B0B Buys. Worth checking out. I'm gonna put Bob Buys. Gotta be S tier for sure. Watch out, Carrie. All right, what do we got next? Planet ARP. Okay, Planet ARP is great. I just found out about Planet ARP. I believe Laura recently. Laura ARP is her name, but she made this amazing video as a former employee of the Goodwill outlet. So a really interesting behind the scenes onto what happens behind the scenes, behind closed doors at the Goodwill outlets. She was one of the people sorting and pricing things and deciding what goes out on the floor, what gets sold online. And so I found that insanely interesting. So I've been following her ever since that video came out, talking about her experience as an employee, but she's no longer an employee of Goodwill. I think that's why she kind of feels free to talk about that stuff. And now she's a reseller, like so many of us. So love watching, and she still now shops at the outlet, but like as a pro. So you're watching a pro really shopping at the outlet. It's really amazing to watch and listen to. So I love to have her in my ear as I'm working. One of these, like another coworker of mine. So I'm always happy to find other content creators. So Laura ARP, incredible. Let me see, Laura, yeah, gotta be A. I mean, just like putting out so much good information. Like I was just riveted. I think I was listening in the car during her particular video where I was just listening to the audio about working behind the scenes at Goodwill, and it was just, my gears were turning. It was really, really fascinating. So thank you, Laura, for sharing that and being brave enough to share about the behind the scenes, and even sometimes like, what happens towards the end of the day when the work piles up and how items start to get moved through the system a little bit more quickly. And it really is interesting, a really interesting behind the scenes. So S tier. Next up, we got Kristen, Rural Squirrel. So I first heard about Kristen on the Nashville Flippers podcast, which is another YouTube channel, but Kristen has just got this incredible energy, incredible smile, and a lot of great tips. One of those channels, you're going to hear a lot of great brands, a lot of things that people actually buy, a lot of things that you can actually find at places like the Goodwill bins. So I don't particularly sell clothing or a lot of these other things. I'm kind of only electronics, but I'm always so grateful when people are willing to share what is selling for them, so that I'm getting that kind of Rolodex in my head and helping to help out my business and at the end of the day, my family. And so just so grateful for all these tips and just, the attitude as well. Life can be hard, and to find somebody who's handling all that hard stuff, it's not like life is necessarily easier, but Kristen's totally doing it. And an OG as well. Lots of experience here. So for the experience, for the attitude, gotta be S tier. So Kristen, gotta be up here. Let's see. Ooh, getting crowded up here. Okay. Trash Pandas Thrift. Okay, so Bethany, who's kind of like the main person behind the channel, Trash Pandas Thrift, blowing my mind. When they came on the video, they were already complete pros at reselling when they started making YouTube videos. As you can see, 82 videos and 10.8 thousand subscribers. Absolutely incredible. What is so cool about what Bethany and her husband do, they sell their stuff back to the thrift stores. No idea. I literally had not even ever thought of that. Like, yeah, but of course they need inventory too. Of course, just so smart, so interesting. So what they did is shopped at places like the Goodwill outlets, found nice pieces, and then sold them back to the high-end thrift and resale stores in their area, and kept the cycle going, because they lived in a high cost of living area, but they turned that to their advantage. And instead of complaining about the high prices at thrift stores around them, like so many people do on YouTube, what Bethany and Sean did is they said, all right, well, if they're getting high prices for their inventory, where are they getting that inventory? They're probably going to need more of it. Maybe that could be us. And if their sale price is high, there's room in the margin for us to sell as the wholesaler back to the thrift stores. As they're real business people. They offer all kinds of advice, and just check her out. Bethany, Trash Pandas Thrift. Love the name, love the whole concept. Really, just I can tell that they're also into the environmental aspect, the recycling of used clothing, to making sure that this clothing that is at these rag houses or the outlets are getting back into circulation and maybe reducing the demand for new items. So Bethany, Trash Pandas Thrift, gotta be S tier, gotta be S. All right, last up, we got Rachel Strickland, another amazing content creator. And talk about, I mentioned earlier with Ashley Hustle at Home, talking sparkle about your partner. That is something that has just been so endearing to me watching some of Rachel Strickland's content, is just hearing her talk about her husband. And there, even on a recent video, she called her husband, I think he's an electrician or something, and she needed advice because something exploded or sparked a computer. And just, it was adorable. Like, they have an amazing dynamic, and that's amazing. But just to see that also she's this incredible business person and is just out there doing it. And so I appreciate that. I'm in awe. Yeah, Rachel Strickland, and has been doing it for so long. 51,500 subscribers with 696 videos. What an OG. Absolutely doing the dang thing. S tier. And here's the deal. Let me make some room here for Rachel at the top. You're probably understanding what's happening here. All of these people that I've wanted to highlight today are S tier. In fact, I had no intention of judging any of them. And if you're here hoping that I'm going to be taking down any of these content creators, you got the wrong YouTube channel, okay? What I do want to say is that I found so much inspiration from all of these people. And I was sitting thinking this morning, talking to my wife, I just hit 3,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel a couple of days ago. Do you know how many comments I've gotten about my appearance since I started my YouTube channel? 2. And they were both positive. I wonder how many female content creators can say the same thing. My guess is very few. I think it's important to recognize that not only are these people providing incredible inspiration to me, but like, who cares about me? I got representation. I can find people that look like me doing this anywhere, right? There's my white heterosexual male butt here in middle America, right? What about my daughter? Like, who's my daughter more likely to look up to? It's people like this, but people like this have to endure so much more being under that public eye of the internet as a woman in our society. And I just wanted to recognize that. And so, again, I'm not here to judge. This channel, we're about lifting each other up, okay? So that's what I want to do. I'm Joe, Profit First Reseller. I will see you in the comment section. Peace.